Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about a quite unusual, was still released under Kenner, so I would say Kenner toy, but it was not from the 1970s or 80s, but it was released even before the special edition versions of the original trilogy was released in 1996 or 97. This was released, and it was I only remembered it. I think there was a computer game that we played at that time in the 90s. Kids were a lot into computer games, so this was a computer, a video game on NES. And I think on PC it also was already released. I'm not sure, but I played it somewhere, somehow. And I remember this Shadow of the Empire. I think it was more like a merchandise version to say like, wow, we have Star Wars is coming back. And it was happening in between The Empire Strikes Back and The Return of the Jedi. And I just recently read the book, actually, and I think it's quite good. So if you want to read the Star Wars story, maybe this one is for me quite good. Disney should actually adapt it and say like, this is part of the story, because what I like to see is not how well, they should just continue the story and just have some sidekicks that connects to the original story. That already makes me happy. Yeah, something like The Mandalorian, or maybe this one here is also similar. Yeah, so it tells the story of Han is in carbonite, so there is another smuggler that is needed for helping to free Han even before he arrives at Jabba the Hutt. This is a summary of what is happening there. They have a new syndicate. It's like Jabba the Hutt, but it's the Black Sun, and a great a boss of them. I think the character is quite well done. So that's why I think the whole Shadows of the Empire could be well done into a movie. And I think on YouTube, somebody made it into a movie with different scenes from comic books and so on. But anyway, this is the kind of babyish Millennium Falcon from the other smuggler that is asked for help there. His name is Dash Rendar, I think, and this is his vehicle, the Outrider. And I find it actually very cool that they produced it. This is the only new vehicle that they produced. Previously, I think before this, there was the Power of the Force, where they produced or reproduced the same molds that Kenner used, and to pimp that up a bit. And here, this is not only a new vehicle; it's a quite big vehicle, yeah. And that's what I like about that. Is in the style of the Millennium Falcon. I think the designer who designed this, he also made some of the other Kenner toys, or some of the other vehicles for Star Wars. So you see, it's Star Wars style. It's not just anyone anyhow did, but it is in a cool style. It's in a cool look, and they did what was very common for the Power of the Force vehicles. They have these laser blasts or something there, so there's some coloring or graffiti on it, so that already looks, I didn't put the stickers on it. I think it looks great as it is. And yeah, but there were some stickers on top. You have here a cockpit compartment which you can open, which is quite funny because it's a very slimish cockpit, and the figurines from the Power of the Force line were all a bit bulky, yeah? So they don't fit that easily, and that's why I decided to put in here, put in Han, because he fits in just nicer. Yeah, so put it here. Well done. Yeah, he fits. And the cockpit also interesting that they not only opened up the top of the cockpit, but the whole below also. Yeah, then you can close it very well. There could have been, I think, I don't see really the reason, because in the story there is a co-pilot that is a robot, Lobo is called. They did the figurine for the Action Fleet series, but they should have done that as a 3/4 inch version, and they put it in. I like that. It's a co-pilot as a robot. They did that later, I think, in the Solo movie or somewhere. But there could have been I think easy to open this one here and put another figure behind would be great, or to open here a compartment. It's a smuggler's ship, right? So you could open a compartment here just to put things in, even if the figurine is lying down. It would be great to have just an additional compartment because it's all solid, and I think there's no thing to open. I'm not sure. I never played with this, but is. As I said, this is really I just only bought for display. Yeah. So what is great, they have smaller guns here on the side. You have to put them in. They have on top and below. Actually, they have guns. These here are also very stable. The landing gears, that's also great. But you can put them in easily. And what is then on top? They don't really mention that in the book. But what is great, you can open it actually like this. Oops. You can open it easily. Here, you can open it so like this, and then it's a interesting mix, I would say, between a Millennium Falcon and a B-wing. Yeah, well, a B-wing, when you look at it, it has some similarities to this ship or the Millennium Falcon, because it is the cockpit is on one side and the rest of the ship is on the other. But it's really interesting. Unfortunately, you cannot really move this cockpit, but what you can do is inside you can move the seat. Okay, now he's continuing to fly like this, and for me, I think this is a great feature. I think as a kid, if I would be in playing with toys age at 1996 or 7 and got this item and I was a Star Wars fan, I think I would enjoy playing with this. Yeah, I think this could also be fitting into the 1980s toy line. It's good. It has a bit of this vintage style. I think it's a very uncommon or unknown also vehicle. I think it's very cheap. I think it's not very expensive to get this even nowadays because it's not well liked or well known. But I really recommend you to get this. I like it from the feeling. Just putting it next to the Millennium Falcon is cool. Reading the story, the book is also a great addition. Then you maybe might enjoy or appreciate this toy a bit more. And it is. I could imagine not only to play with it is nice, but also to display it is really cool. Yeah, and you have a few guns here. You could modify it, and it has this Kenner Star Wars Millennium Falcon lookish. I really cannot say that anything bad about it. I don't understand why it's not well liked or not so promoted. Maybe that will come someday when the next generation has somehow appreciates their childhood and then they are looking for this kind of toy. I really like it. Happy that I got it in a good condition, and yeah, it's very nice. No electronics there, just mechanics with opening it. And yeah, there is the guy Rendar was also produced as a figure. So yeah, what do you think about this toy? I'm quite somehow I like it, as you can hear maybe from my review. What do you think about this? Have you heard of it? Do you have it? Would you imagine you could play with it? Or are you maybe in that age that you had this as a kid and played with it? I never played with it, but I think from my perspective now, I think it's a great toy, and I could imagine I would have played with it. Yeah, so please leave your comments below, and don't forget to like my video.